we're going to create a new page, and we're going to create a new page or a new command line page in order to create our Debian. And we're going to follow exactly the same process, guys. Debian container server is available on Docker Hub. If you have created your Docker Hub credential, your Docker Hub page account, you should be able to see everything. So right there, I'm going to proceed with connection using SSH command on my master first before to install my Debian container. So I'm good right now. I've provided my password. So right now, since Docker is already installed, I'm just going to proceed with Docker run command in interactive mode and in detached mode. And we're going to provide the port and so on. So let's do cat/etc release once again, just to verify that we have our Alma release 8.10. That is the one that we have created before. Okay, it's the one that we are using that is replacing our CentOS 7. Since CentOS 7 is not supported anymore by Red Hat. So we're going to proceed with Docker run -it, okay, in interactive mode, --name. I'm going to call that one Debian server -p. Internal port number going to be 2300 and 22 for external. So I'm going to move quickly. I'm just proceeding with the same process, okay? That's why I'm doing quickly right now. I don't want to waste your time, guys. So everything that we did before with Ubuntu Docker container, we are doing the same with Debian container. So after running with all the process, you should be able to check on service -status -all once again, and you can see that we have plus in front of SSH. So we're going to try to access it as well using our master server. So you see, we're going to say yes and provide the password that we have defined on our Debian. So you see, you are very good. Okay, so right now we're going to move on the next step. Okay, we're going to move on the next step. Exit first. So let's install our third target server, which is AlmaLinux 9, the latest version, okay, on AlmaLinux. So we're going to create it on Linux following the same process, even if I didn't show you once again. So you're just going to follow the same process that I have described on the beginning, and you should be able to enter your password here and get your AlmaLinux 9 Linux server. So you can check using cat etc /* release just to get the confirmation that is exactly that AlmaLinux 9.4, which is the latest version of AlmaLinux, you see. So it's exactly that one. So you can see all the detail, okay. CentOS, Fedora. So now we're going to install our SSH key. We're going to create our SSH key on our master servers for communication and another one for our Ansible. So we're going to move on our master server once again and type the command to create our SSH key, which is SSH keygen, okay. SSH keygen, and we're going to run -t in order to provide some detail, okay. The name of our key is going to be ed25519, okay, and I'm going to use the -c option in order to provide the name of my key, okay. So I'm going to call it tech with YMK, okay, generating public private ed25519 key pairs. Enter file in which to save the key. This is the default path that I'm going to keep. Just type enter over there, enter passphrase. You can provide your last name or your first name here, enter same passphrase. You have to provide it twice, and after that you are all set. We can check in the path of that SSH using ls-a to see everything. You have our keys over there that are showing up, right? So let's start our public key right now, and you're going to see that it's exactly the name that I've provided in my command line on the beginning. You see, you have take with YMK at the end, and you have exactly my key. I'm not going to show you my my private key because I'm still using this server. I don't want you to block myself. So let's do right now hostname -i once again on Ubuntu in order to get the IP address and come back on our master. Let's try to connect on our Ubuntu. Let's try to copy. Now we're going to try to copy using SSH copy. Okay, we're going to try to copy our SSH key on all our target server to make our connection effective. So we're going to use SSH copy -id -i. So we provide the path, which is /root/ we're going to provide exactly the path that we got before. Okay, it's /root/ .ssh /id ed, our key number. And after that, we're going to provide our Ubuntu IP address. So I was saying that we're going to use that SSH -copy /id-i and provide the path that we got before for the public key, because we want to copy this one on our public server. That key should be available for all our target users. Okay, and we provide the IP address, and after that we have the root password prompted. So we have to setting up to write our root password that we have defined before, and after that we should be good, and everything should be copied on our Ubuntu Docker server. So let's try to connect using SSH right now. You see, enter passphrase for key. So I'm just going to enter my passphrase and use the enter key, and I'm good. You see, so that's a little bit how this process is working right now with SSH key. So I'm excited that container. Right now, let's do hostname -i on Debian container. You can see, but I think that we're going to move on AlmaLinux first. Address on our AlmaLinux server quickly. Okay, let's come back on our master server and proceed with SSH copy -id-i, provide the public key, the SSH public key path, and finally our AlmaLinux 9.4 IP address. So let's go. You want to say yes because it's the first time. Are you sure you want to continue connecting? Yes. And now we're going to provide our password. Okay. Now when I'm providing my password, I'm good. Okay. So I can list the SSH file, and I have authorized keys. If I cut these authorized keys, you're going to see that I've copied exactly my key over there. So it's a file. Using a command, you can see that it's a file. I'm going to cut that file, and you're going to see that I have exactly my tag with YMK SSH public key right there. You see, tag with YMK at the end. It's just awesome. So we're going to do the same thing for our Debian server as well. Okay. Before that, let me show you as well that our copy got success. Our copy completed successfully on our Ubuntu server as well. So I'm going to move in the SSH directory on Ubuntu, and I will show you the authorized key that is existing over there. You're going to see the tag with YMK as well. I just want to make sure that everything is perfect and make sure that you are understanding everything that I'm doing right there. So if you have a question, don't miss to provide your question in comment, and I will be happy to answer. Okay, so we're going to try to move on that SSH directory quickly in this Ubuntu server. And you know that to list a IDET file, we are using the ls-a option to be able to see the IDET files, okay, folder and file. So that's why I'm using ls. Before we couldn't see anything with option -a you can see it, and we have authorized keys over there. I'm going to cut that authorized key, and you're going to see that we have our tag with YMK as well inside. Awesome. So you can see tag with YMK at the end, and it is exactly the same key that we have on our master server. So we're going to do the same thing for Debian as well, and so on. Okay. So let's move on the next step. We're going to create now our SSH keygen for Ansible only. So this one is the key that is going to use by Ansible only. So we're going to change the name SSH keygen -c option -c, and we're going to call this one Ansible key. So this one we're going to change the path because we want to avoid the previous one to be overriding, because we're going to need the buff on the next episode. Okay, so right there I'm going to change it, and I'm going to call that one Ansible, no ID ED25519. I'm going to call that one Ansible, and I'm not going to provide any passphrase right there because I want Ansible to access my target server without ask me every time to provide a password, a passphrase. So we're going to do the same thing that we did before, and we're going to copy that key on all our servers. Okay, so you can see now that we have Ansible and Ansible.pop. Okay, so let's copy that Ansible key. That is going to be really helpful on the next step as well. Okay, so I'm going to copy it using SSH copy command on our Ubuntu, Debian, and AlmaLinux 9.4 servers. So let's run SSH copy -id space -i. I'm going to provide the path of my Ansible key, my public Ansible key. And After that, the IP address of the target server. It's exactly the same process. Okay, so you already know that we are using hostname -i in order to get the IP address on our container server, right? So I'm just doing it again and again to make sure that you got it in your head for the next episode. Okay, so I'm going to copy that and drop it here and validate it. And now I'm going to enter the passphrase that I have seen up before. Okay, so I'm going to provide that password quickly. So I don't know what you have provided on your side. Just enter the one that you have provided on your side. I did a mistake. Let me correct it. Okay, so after entering the passphrase on on our first SSH key, we should be able to copy. We're gonna proceed on this with the same process and copy that key on all our target servers. Okay. No, I did a mistake right there. I have to write the full command. It's SSH copy -id, and I'm going to change that one and drop the Debian IP address right now to copy. You see, enter passphrase for key. So I'm just going to enter the password that you have defined on the previous configuration for Cajun. So, you see, we got a number of key added 1. It's just awesome. I'm going to do the same with the AlmaLinux 9.4, sorry. So we're going to do this. We are going to do the same thing. Perfect. Passphrase. I'm going to enter my passphrase quickly. Awesome. So, sorry if my English looks a little bit like French. French is my first language, so I want to apologize for that. But I can promise that I will make sure to be better and better to make myself understandable. So, after that, we're going to come back on our Ubuntu server and check to see if we have our Ansible key copy correctly. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Oh, I did a mistake. So let's cut our authorized keys, and you will see that we have 2 keys right now. The first one is tag with YMK, the next one is Ansible. You see, it's just awesome. All right, so we are all good. We can check the same on AlmaLinux, on Debian, and everything should be okay. Okay, we should have the same output. Okay, so let's now run the SSH-i using our Ansible to connect, and you're going to see that we are not going to need to provide our passphrase anymore using our Ansible key. So we're going to do it for Ubuntu, ssh-i/root/ okay, Ansible key, and right there load key root perp bad permission. Okay, so that one couldn't work. We have to use the private key, our private Ansible key on our master site. You see, using our private key Ansible without perp, directly we have connected without any passphrase. It's just awesome. So if you are trying the same for Debian and AlmaLinux, you're going to see that you can connect to this server using Ansible key without any passphrase added. Okay, so that's a little bit how that thing works. And I think that it should be good for this video. It's enough long for this episode. So you see, using Debian is the same. So today in this episode, we have learned how to set up our Linux server that are going to be useful during this Ansible series. We are setting up both of them on Linode, the master server, and one of our target server, and we did the same with both of them on virtualization system named Docker, where we are setting up our Ubuntu Docker container and our Debian Docker container. I want to invite you to give a thumbs up to this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and provide all your questions in comments, and I will be happy to help. Let's talk about it. What do you think that I can make in order to make our next video look better and better? And I will really appreciate all your observation and your strength in the comment. See you soon. Ciao.